So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the world famous Do Work Podcast. I am your host, Scientifixxx. This is episode 26. Very special episode. We got somebody big in the building today. Before we get to that, though, quick shout out to the sponsors, rheomediaco.com, rheomediaco.com. Check out one side for your medical needs for the strands, the other side for the merch, that's the brand. So one side for the strand, one side for the brand. Quick plug for that, get my money's worth. So every week we have somebody special. The last couple of weeks have been going up amazing. I appreciate all my fans for pushing up the numbers and just sharing and liking on all the social media platforms. Shout out to all my guests that have been on the show already. It's been great. Can't wait to see you guys do some stuff in the 50th episode. We got that in the works too, so be looking out for that. But yes, this week, as I do every week, I got another amazing guest in the building. Somebody who's been a part of the culture, part of the community, doing something big, bringing back something that Fresno kind of caught a wave on, and early on it was just kind of like, a couple people were on it, and those who were on it knew, and as it grew and what it is today, it's one of the people that started it when it started. Like that. So what I want you guys to do is put your hands together, make a lot of noise for the one, the only James in the building. You need to give me your last name. What's up, man? How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Science again. Yeah.
My chair keeps swiveling, so I'm having fun right now. So what's up, man? How you doing?
Very good. Very good. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Beautiful day.
Yeah. Shout out to Thrift Demon for having us in the building. We shoot on location, usually wherever the guest is, like, their background or whatever. But luckily, Thrift Demon opened up the doors for us today. So shout out to Chef for that. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
I gave you a little intro, but give the people a better intro of who you are and what it is you do specifically.
Okay, will do. So my name's James. Last name is Pallares.
There you go.
So born and raised just south of here, Selma, California. Kind of been valley bred for the most part. My first 17, 18 years of life between Selma and Fresno. Traveled out of state a lot, back to California. Now we've dropped anchor here in Fresno. Been here for the past probably 20 years.
Okay.
So my focus now is vintage clothing.
Yeah.
It's been probably a focus over the past, say, 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Thrifting for about that long. But now it's my primary focus: vintage clothing, thrift clothing.
Yeah.
And then more specifically, kind of spearheading the CenCal Thrift and Vintage Expo. So part, I would say part team member of those folks that bring the CenCal Thrift and Vintage Expo to Central California.
Yeah. How big is that team?
Team of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So shout out to, you just mentioned Che. We're in the shop.
Yeah.
I've been here. I've known Che for about 10 years now.
Okay.
Got my rack.
Yeah. Shout out Che.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Che's the man. Che's on the team. Oscar Thrift Grouch, my brother. He goes by Rick Rustics.
Okay.
Cousin Tin Man. Nick, and then we got the whole team from Neighborhood Thrift. That's Ricky Bravo and company. So.
Okay, great, yeah.
And Don D, can't forget Don D.
Can't forget Don D.
Yeah, Don D's the man. And shout out to my boy Art too.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the collective actually, because that's a great movement to put together. Like, how long did it take to put the team together? Was it like you guys knew each other over the years, or was it like slowly everybody started to like add on pieces?
Yeah,
Voltron out.
It was a quick kind of Voltron thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
usually is, because Voltron be like, let's get it.
Yeah, exactly. Come together quick.
You ain't got no time to waste, bro. You gotta get there. We're gonna do it right now. Yeah, catch that wave.
So 2021, I was exiting my previous career, retired from a job, kind of in a nutshell. And I owned a vintage shop here in Fresno back in 2013. Had that for about 5-6 years while I had my other career. Had another somebody else kind of running it day to day. Always, like I said, been picking for about 30 years of my life. Vintage has always been a big part of my life, but that shop kind of went away. It wasn't a huge priority.
Yeah.
And then as I'm retiring from my other career, I'm like, you know what? It's time to get back go hard into the vintage.
Yeah.
So Fresno's always had a vintage clothing scene.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. Fresno's always, I shouldn't say always, oftentimes slept on,
No, you're right, always.
Maybe.
Because the wave, it takes somebody to make that spark.
Right.
Like they know it's there because it's easy to find. When something gets big, we're like, everybody's on it. So it isn't hard to get to. It just kind of takes a moment for someone to be like, oh yeah, that's fly. It is fly. Yeah, that's right. Let's get on it kind of wave.
But there's a lot of heads who've been doing it here in Fresno, just kind of quietly. Like just kind of slow bubbles here in Fresno. So 2021, exited my former career. Started getting back into the pop-up scene. We got, shout out Moss Plaza, Anthony and Moss Fresno.
Yeah, shout out to them.
the art hop scene's thriving for the vintage resellers.
Yeah.
I can go down the laundry list of all the folks that are selling on any given, first Thursday of the month.
With a good like rack of stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great curations. There's a lot of people working hard at the flea markets and the thrift shops to bring people like really good pieces at a really good value. But so I kind of jumped into that scene, kind of getting back to it, and immediately, I want to say maybe the first month, we had took part in an event at Moss Plaza. It was called Thrifting with Friends.
Okay.
That was probably March or April of 2021, right as COVID was about hitting. We still did it.
Bring your masks.
Yeah, exactly. We were just wearing masks.
Yeah.
But I saw that immediately, and just kind of thoughts running through my mind, and I'm like, you know what Fresno really needs? We need like a very good indoor event. You know, all the pop-ups are outdoors, and I was like, we need a good indoor event, and it needs to be beyond just a collection of vendors. Like, can't remember who's the guy who put together Grizzly Fest, but you know, we have something like Grizzly Fest with a great lineup of musicians, good food. There was vendors at the early, like the first 2 years of Grizzly Fest. I think Che was even there.
Yeah.
You know, vending vintage clothing. So kind of taking that model, I'm like, we can do our own. You know what I mean? So 2021 kind of identified a date in the fall, and I'm like, let's do it. We have enough vendors. I got really into
and everybody came together quick too, though. Exactly. As soon as you gave them a date, they were like, "Let's go."
Yeah, they found out that it was indoors, and I've met a lot of folks through the Instagram vintage community. Yeah, it's like nationwide, really worldwide. I got buddies in Canada, the Philippines, Mexico, all across the nation, and
for them, like that vintage jump off is even better because they're just collecting from stuff that they see in the world popular, like in the view of eye, just having a piece. My girl, we live out in 209 area, like Atwater, Merced. Okay. So over there, they're starting to get a vintage like spark too. Some of the events that are coming up, but getting that older classic stuff. We have an actual like 1950s, 60s dress on our wall. 30s, like one of those sequins, kind of like and just having like inheriting stuff like that, I can see the collection of people growing that quick too, because all the stuff that I've seen on people's racks looking good, dude. It's not like, oh, this is, because we walked in right away as soon as we got here, and I was like, I hadn't been here yet, but it looked dope, and I was like, sorry, racking like, oh, but you're right, because it's like when you crate dig, if you're a DJ or finalist, once you get into it, it's kind of like always going to be an obsession, and you're always going to find your way back to it, even though it may not be your main thing. And then also when you took away from the job career and said, this is what we're going to do, that wave, you kind of made that wave a little bit bigger for everybody who was already on it and kind of building for it. And when you came in, was it like a lot of pieces you had in your collection, or was it like things started to get bigger and you got more plugs so that you could get a better collection? Yeah, no, I've always had a lot. He said, nah, I've always been on that. I have a lot. I'm not gonna say it like that, but I've had a lot. Collecting for all I have shirts. He said 30 years. So I have shirts in my closet that I've recently sold that I've had in my personal closet for over 20 years. Okay, so you wore in junior high or something like that? Yeah, high school. I'm a little older. Oh, okay. Well, I'm 43, so you know what I mean? Okay, I'm about there. Yeah. But he said close in the range ballpark. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, man, a lot of people have been accumulating for years. Yeah. So yeah, I had quite a bit. My brother has storages. Everybody has storages if you've been in this game for quite a while. Yeah. But it's good to see. So 2021, it really took off. Maybe partly because of COVID too. Yeah. That sit-down collection, everybody was online shopping a lot. Yeah, exactly. And they saw the market, and because that's when vinyl made its surge too. Is that right? Yeah. They started to come back. More people were sitting at home. That time, your iPad, your iPod Shuffle, your iTunes, everything already ran through it. Right. Let's go hear some original Carole King. Let's go hear some original, Led Zeppelin. So it started to work out like that. Nice. Oh yeah. So yeah, you were right in that time frame of that. Yeah, it was kind of an odd time frame too. If you think during the COVID times, but everybody that had never been grounded, as soon as 21 opened up, they're like, oh, let's go buy everything and do everything. Yeah, so you can see it. But the timing worked out really well because our first one was August of 2021. Yeah. And it was at that time where things started to lift, right? Yeah. Kind of. Still bring your mask though. Still bring your masks. Yeah, I think that was the guidance. We want to be in accordance with whatever at the time. But where was the first one held? It was at the fairgrounds. Oh, so fairgrounds. Yeah. You just moved locations within the fairgrounds for the 1 and 2? Exactly. Okay. Yeah, we. I think same square footage, but we got a building that was better suited. The layout, the shape of it. Yeah. Kind of lineup of vendors. Still, I think we were at about 25
1,000 square feet.
Nice.
Or 22.5 square feet the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And just kind of built. Third annual. Now we're about 32,000 square feet in a beautiful building. So. And
that's great too, because most of the things that we bring on are people that we bring on, and the business owners and people that are in the community. It's to show everybody else how just putting the legwork in kind of creates that dream into reality. Yep. It isn't that hard to go out and rent the fairgrounds. You know, I'm pretty sure in people's minds it's like, man, it's probably going to be. But if you got people investing into your product and the wave of what you're doing, it helps, because now the community has somewhere to go to experience what you've been doing for the last 30 years. Yep. And you're just basically sharing your joy with them. Like, hey guys, check out what I got. And they're like, oh, and then everybody else has the same little thing. Like when you go and find stuff, NKOTB or anything like that, you're like, it's on. Because that love of that resurgence of memory, that 80s feel, that 90s feel, you know, you remember being a kid watching it for the first time, all the Simpsons stuff as the Bart's above us, you know, everything when it first dropped, and then seeing it again. I remember when Bombers started coming back in the early 2000s, like the single zip with the one zipper up right here. And so it's good to see that wave. Is there anything in your collection that you wouldn't get rid of, like you're gonna keep forever, ever?
God, I said that to one particular shirt. I just recently did a show. Shout out to my boy Ryan, Disorder Vintage. He runs Faded Show on Whatnot.
Okay, shout out.
Amazing show. I recently got on there and we just went nuts. And I got rid of, I shouldn't say got rid of, I moved a lot of pieces, some that I would consider kind of near and dear to my heart. One in particular, 1996, Fuji's The Score album promo, 96 tour. Oh. That one meant a lot. Beautiful fade. Yeah. Album cover front. Tour.
Black or white?
Black.
Black. Yeah. So it had that nice fade with that brown kind of.
Album cover. All the three faces with the Fuji's. So that one, I let that one go. That one was probably one of the only ones that kind of meant something to me, because I was there at the show when they came through Fresno. 1996. Me, my homies, my brother.
I remember when the first time I heard that album was on 90.7.
Oh yeah, KFSR.
On a Sunday, wait in the parking lot of Guitar Center.
Sick. Oh, the Sunday show.
Yeah. So I went over there to go pick up a piece of cable and I don't know, something for my buddy. He was a DJ at the time, and we were in the car waiting, and we were listening to 90.7, and it came on, and we're like, oh, what's this? And they played the whole album. Yeah, just so everybody could preview.
I just had a conversation yesterday. We headed up north to a flea market with my girl, and talking about that show back in the day, the college radio. You remember Jason Chavez? DJ 4 AM? Yeah.
Because him and Miracle Man would have back-to-back shows. Yep. So he'd do Saturday and Sunday.
Good stuff. Yeah. We actually had him spinning at last year's Expo.
That's dope. So hey, if you have him back this year, you know what I mean, it'd be great to see him in action again, because it's been since the 90s.
Yeah. No. I love early 2000s. I love the way he plays. Yeah. I know he's got a good job now that's pretty consuming. So,
you know, life always takes justice over everything, but you know, hey, shout out to that for having a good life, you know what I mean?
Shout out to staying on the grind, doing what you gotta do, man.
Exactly, love it. Where we at in minutes? Okay, cool. Just checking. We'll make sure the segments are good, because we're gonna bring in the music for what you got to it, to the commercials and stuff.
Right on.
Yeah. And I don't do very many edits, so everything stays in the show. Like, I don't do very many edits. It's like cut to segments. That way, just everybody gets the raw feel of
like, keeping it raw. I like that.
The conversation, you know. Like I said, if they were here, this is what they'd be seeing or listening to. So when you got into it in 21 and you started feeling the wave, everybody got involved. Did you connect with some of the cities you had been in, like some of the other cities you had lived in, and talk to them and be like, hey, can we extend this, or just using the markets as like, what do you guys got going on over there, to kind of see where you're gauging how big the show is going to be? Yeah. So I kind of knew what the local footprint would look like. Yeah. I was like, you know, let's shoot for 70, 80 plus vendors. We got a good core that we're always popping up at the plaza every month. That's about 30 to 40. Like, so we need to fill about another half of that, you know. I mentioned the Instagram live stream. Yeah. I kind of went hard into that when I exited my last career, and I made a lot of good friends from all over the nation. So we actually had, at our first Expo 2021, we had folks coming to vend from Texas, from Arizona, from Washington. Homies came from Seattle. Kid Vintage came from, San Francisco. My buddy Ryan came from, shout out Sober Sport, like he came from San Diego. Otter God Vintage, San Diego, like all over the place. Oh, so you were on live, like networking. Yeah, really, like getting with the people that do what they do.
Exactly, it's all surrounded or centered on vintage clothing.
Yeah. So when you get in that market, all the guys that do, or females that do, any person that does, That's what I'm saying. You're in that area of going live, and you're like, everyone's like, hey, I got.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
let's meet up, or you start showing some stuff. You watching their lives. Were you watching their lives too, or like?
Yeah, we would all go live together. So
so it'd be pieced up.
Yeah, so it's, 4 screens. Really, that kind of really kicked off 21, where folks were auctioning T-shirts, kind of heavily emphasized on vintage T-shirts. So it just really took off. All that COVID money was floating around, and the market was just nuts. Crazy. I mean, it's definitely deflated a bit since then, but it's still very, very strong. Very, very strong.
No, we saw everybody start making small businesses during that time frame. Everybody became something at that time.
Right, exactly.
I have a professional title now. Nobody has a job. We all got titles now. Yeah, we all own our business.
They got that whatever $10,000-$20,000 grant from the federal government.
The PPE. They get the COVID fund, the 600 and the 1200, and then they got
it was good times, good market.
Yeah, but I'm sure everything was coming up too, because like the orders. Were you doing online orders during 20? Like just whatever you had available somewhere?
Yep. Yeah, I have. I mean, there's a lot of platforms. You got Depop, Poshmark, Mercari. I've been selling on eBay since 2004.
Yeah.
So a lot of clothing there, but that's why it's my business name is Golden Era Thrift and Vintage. Like I kind of delineate between what's vintage, 20 years and older, and what's thrift. Y2K type stuff, 2003 and moving forward. So a lot of that stuff goes on. You have to kind of understand the platform. Depop is good for, in my opinion, a certain aesthetic. My daughter actually kills it on Depop. She understands the aesthetic, the algorithm and stuff like that. eBay, I would say a little higher end pieces, very, very premium T-shirts, jacket, outerwear and stuff like that. Poshmark, Mercari, Rheo, in my opinion, a little more hype wear. There's vintage stuff there too, but kind of run up the prices. So you got to understand the platform, the market, the consumer.
Know your demographic.
Exactly.
You walking in,
you're
going,
business major too.
Yeah, you walk around going, all right, look at this guy right here, 350. This guy right here, 400. Let's go, man. And they're gonna pay it because you're not jacking anybody. You're not doing an inflation on somebody.
Yeah, that's what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, and they actually feel like sometimes your price is a little bit better than what they would see. Even though in some states it would be like, damn, that's extreme for somebody who does like a 30, 40, 60, 80 to hear like a 300, a 400 for a piece. And you're like, well, yeah, but that collector is probably gonna have it for a while in his collection and then turn around and try to do the same thing. So you keep that market thriving where the price stays up and you're not lowballing people.
Exactly. Yeah, as long as you're in the green, right?
Yeah,
I mean, as long as you're in the green.
And you're not trying to take away from anything besides give to the community.
Yeah. I always look at it like when it comes to value, I'm like, if I'm giving a customer the best value possible, then I'm taking care of him, taking care of myself, and we're leaving with that, he or she's leaving with that feeling like, I got an amazing deal.
Yeah.
There's a great chance they're gonna come back, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm always trying to do when I move.
Oh yeah, salesman, man. Bring them back. The first one semi-free, but after that, everything.
Yeah, but always take care of to the best ability. I mean, there's stuff that I thrift just about every single day.
Yeah.
I'm retired from my other career. Like, that's all I do is just pit. So if I'm finding a shirt, jacket for $1 to $5, and I know it's worth $60, $40 to $60. I'm gonna let it go for $20 to $30. Give them some value in it. They get a great piece. And I don't care. I'm still making,
because you're not worried about how much profit you're getting. The margin's not gonna. The margin's always there. Basically, the margin's always there.
Take care of the people. They're happy. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, and your customers feel like that's the best value they're gonna keep getting, and that's great.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna take a small break. We'll be right back. We're gonna go ahead and take a little some with a some. You guys do the same. We're here with my man James. Go ahead, say your last name again. Pallares. Central Valley Vintage Clothing. We got the expo. We'll have the flyers up and all the information coming up right here in this break. You guys can check it. Also, we'll have all the information at the end of the episode and in the link of the video, so you guys be able to just click away and get whatever you need. But we'll be right back with this. It's the World Famous Do Word Podcast. Scientifixxx. James in the building. You know what it is.
Right.
What up, everybody? It's your man Scientifixxx, here to tell you about our new sponsor, Red Industries. RedEyeIndustries.com is the place to go to find all of our merch, tinctures, flowers, wax, drinks, and anything you may need for your medical uses. That's right, www.RedEyeIndustries.com. And tell them your man Science sent you. Yeah, we can do that right now. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the world famous Do Word podcast. I am your host, Scientifixxx. We're back with James from the Central Valley Expo, our Thrift and Vintage Expo, my bad. And we were talking about, if you guys caught it right now, we're talking about the clothes. We're talking about, everybody bringing back the 90s vibe and how we were previously. So, yeah, it's good because we're leaving Kerman the other day. All the high school kids are out. And I just see people, bell bottom, chunky shoe, bell bottom, and then the dusty kicks became a thing again because it's like a homage to kids who didn't have money, but had like the one time you got the good pair, and that was your pair all year. So you got to keep them clean to a certain point, and then they start getting scuffed. So you're like, fuck it, let's just go with it. Kids are rocking that like solidly now, proud, like the dad shoe. Yep. And like rocking the whole
the Air Monarchs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I got the, shout out to the New Balances. I got the 997s on, but that's a.
I was gonna wear some New Balances today.
Okay, yeah, it would have been dad shoe up. Oh, you did? Yeah. You know what I mean? You got the hype.
I was gonna wear the Tiagos. Those are my favorite skate ones.
They're so dope.
Yeah, New Balance skates like kind of slept on in my opinion.
Yeah, everybody wants to go SB.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's a lot of, besides the shoe brands, like they forget that New Balance had one that was really good.
For sure.
And we're talking about the chunky shoes, like we were talking about the Osiris's and DVS's and everything like that. It's just, they were heavy, but they weren't. Yeah. Like if you picked it up, it was like, damn, it's just heavy. But walking in them, it was like walking on a cloud. Right. So comfortable. I'm glad to see these vibes coming back.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do it for the aesthetic too now. Like, like they need the full fit. So the shoes will match the whatever fit that they're going for. Yeah. Some people kind of keep it. They're gonna have a particular fit, you know what I mean?
Just throw it all together. Yeah.
Other people will kind of venture out and just try,
And that's good too, because that's kind of where we got our fashion sense of, because we're growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, where it's like New York, LA vibe. So the hip hop vibe, the rock vibe, everything that was going big. Yeah. And then grunge hit in 93. So then it was everything that we saw in hip hop happened in the 2000s. Yeah. And then we see in the 13s of 2000 where they went rocker. It was like, oh, that's what happened in 93. Right. Everybody went rocker in 93. Yeah. And then hip hop, gangster hip hop right after that. And then they went super lyrical, and then they were wearing Tim. So it was like, that's that vibe.
That's it right there. You just summed it all up.
That was exactly what happened.
I think our age was probably like a hodgepodge of that. Like we were at the peak of 91 grunge scene, 91 to 95 kind of boom bap, East Coast hip hop, West Coast underground stuff, Far Side, early high road stuff,
A lot of Dow stuff, a lot of, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but that's a really, really like lift off time for some very good music, hip hop, rock, grunge, even the overseas Brit and shoegaze type stuff. But that really influenced
I mean, we got the roots at that point, you know what I mean? That's when Tim started coming in, the Wu-Tang started talking about wallabies, people started rocking wallies.
Wallies, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything that was mentioned, you got the cut off sleeve, trucker shirts that normally were just like, oh, that's a vibe for that type of people. No, everybody was rocking it now. Yeah. Ripped jeans were now becoming into it, not just worn out, but really like getting tattered on purpose. Plus, if you're a tagger back in the day, you had the shredded jeans on the bottom.
Of course.
You know what I mean? That's off the rip. You cut the bottom off the rip.
With the Reeboks.
Exactly. The white Reeboks or the blacks?
The blacks.
The blacks. Okay, I had the whites with the blue, and then I had the black with the black.
The black classics. Man.
The black with the white.
So that was like staple. If you used to mob.
Well, I had the white and the Reebok, but I had the Reebok, and it was just the white ones. Okay, oh yeah. No, we're talking about the cloth one, the one that was kind of like they were the Reebok Cortez, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They were the Cortez of
like
Reebok.
The staple.
Yeah. This is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, all those good old school Beat Boy influences.
So when you started doing vintage, was it or started collecting just in general? You said it was like 30 years ago. And for you guys that are out there, you put the number on it, where we're at right now. Teenage years, when throw it back 30 years. My brother's 33, so you know what I mean? I was the teenager, back in those days, so I remember exactly. But those pieces, like we said, you had that favorite piece, that 96 piece. Over the times, though, has there been like that love of like, ooh, I'm in a heavy, like you were saying, the 2000 era, the 2005 era, the 90 era. We're back in the 80s, you were like rocking 80s stuff, where you kind of pick up more of that in one time of the year where you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna be on this heavy. I'm just gonna go, or do you just kind of go out there and just whatever you find? I know you go out and shop in general, but are you like on a search for like something good in your bracket?
Yeah, no, not necessarily. I think just doing it for so long, it kind of, you build that knowledge base and like your radar's on for everything. Yeah. That's, I think, what somebody like me or my brother or Chef who's been picking for a long time, like we know the tags. Like I can run through racks at the thrift and just kind of sift through tags, and I know which tag is a 90s tag versus the early 2000s tag. You know
of that brand.
Yeah, exactly. You know the stitching. So my kind of vintage radar, it's like it's always on. And I'll scoop up anything if I know it has value.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You also don't want to get that letdown of like, I'm looking for and I never find. You know what I mean? Like if you're searching for a specific piece, and it's just like very hard to come across.
Right, yeah.
The eluded white elephant where you're just like, I almost got it, but then somebody else bought it, and it's always like someone you know has it, but you never get to it.
Yeah, I mean, with anything, it's like I never like yearn to find anything. It's just like, I'm just gonna be, I believe in the, you know, the kind of quote unquote thrift gods, you know, like you just stay consistent and the thrift gods will take care of you.
They will bless you, bro.
Exactly,
you will get whatever you need.
Exactly, and I just killed it. Friday just absolutely killed it. It was yesterday, Sunday, and we picked a whole lot on Saturday, but yeah, like just do excellent. It's just getting out there, digging, and working. Things are gonna surface.
And again, like we were talking about the vinyl thing, that's really what it is too. When you start, you're not looking for anything anymore. You just start, you know, at the beginning, you're kind of like trying to get certain pieces that you feel are like gonna validate you as a crate digger, or as a person that finds, you know, good pieces. You're like, oh, I found me a this, I found me a that. Now you're like, nah, I find them all the time now.
Right.
Like you've been in the circuit, you have the plugs, you know where to, you know the avenues specifically to where to go look for some of the better pieces. Again, not really like you said, yearning for something. Although me personally, I would be kind of like trying to get that Bo Jackson, the one where he has the thing, at least 3 of them. I want to get me the Early Day Law or the 3 Feet and Rising shirt, the white one. That one's dope.
I know where to find that one.
I got the shoes for it.
Oh,
I got the SBs.
That was a newer release or something.
No, these were the original. The the 3 Feet and Rising.
Maybe it was like somebody did a remake of that. Maybe Vans or something.
No,
it was a Tribe Called Quest.
Okay,
Vans did the Tribe.
These are the 3 Feet and Rising De Laws. They dropped originally, I want to say in 13. Or 10 or something like that. I got them in 2019. And I kind of came across them at Burlington Coat Factory.
Nice.
And then I didn't get them. And then my boy had a pair that I wanted to get, and those weren't them, they were the lows. And he goes, well, I got these. And I go, those are the ones I was gonna get at Burlington for like 20 bucks. He's like, I got you, bro, 80 bucks. I was like, all right, cool.
Nice.
I copped them, so they're a gift for BKR. Because his birthday last year, I kept telling him, I got these shoes for you, I got these shoes, I'm gonna get, and I was trying to get him some like dope ass SB customs. And my boy was like, I couldn't get them, but I got these if you got these. I'm like, take it, you know, sold.
That's dope.
So that's dope that you would get. There's pieces that I would want to get, you know what I mean, like specifically.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough out there on the thrift vintage side because, like I said earlier, there's a lot of people out there picking. You know what I mean? So
are there hoarders?
There's definitely hoarders.
People that just don't want to let go of shit. They'll flaunt it but never let go of anything.
There's a few. I'm not gonna name any names.
No need for it. But I'm just saying every field has those. Like I got but you don't, and then they never share it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe they enjoy it that much to not let it go. I don't know. I've been my kind of take on that is like, at the end of the day, it's a piece of cotton. It's all cotton, right?
True.
So it's like you enjoy it, wear it. My kids wear a lot of the same clothing they've been for years. Like, let the family enjoy it, let friends enjoy it, and just keep it moving along. That's kind of secondhand fashion, right? That's sustainability.
Do you have siblings?
I do.
Older? You got the hand-me-down set. That's why, it works because you're like, oh, I got that football shirt from my.
Right.
You know, I'm in junior high. I'm wearing the high school. But the hand-me-down, making it a collectible and making it swag.
Right.
Like putting it on and feeling like, oh, I got this. I'm rocking this.
Yeah.
That's dope too because there's pieces that I've had that I've hold on to specifically just cause. My brother, dude, and he's not even a collector, but he has stuff from high school that he bought in that time frame. Jeans, shirts, everything. He just won't let go of them. And now I'm like, good, you did it, because now there's a reason you might want to get into the field or something like that, you know? And gathering. Do you feel like there's a specific type of vintage tee that goes harder than others?
I think it's everybody's preference.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's not like the old school rocks or the old school like, you know, athletic tees or like World Series or concert tees, stuff like that.
That's a very good question, man, because it's, you know, our art is subject to interpretation, right? And that's what I look at. That's the way I look at it. I like the full spectrum of vintage clothing. I like a lot of simple, awkward tees. You know, I think yesterday at the flea, and I had a crew neck, and it said, "Birds are birds, cats are cats," and it said, "A dog is a person." And it was like an old grandma sweater. And I like weird shit like that. Sometimes. Other times I enjoy wearing a lot of music tees.
Okay.
Some people really enjoy Marvel and old comic stuff. It's just like everybody's preference. It's whatever is nostalgic to that individual who is going to purchase it, wear it.
And you're also in a bunch of demographics like we were talking about.
Right.
So you're in different areas where you can see like there's some hot here, some hot here. So then it's kind of always hot.
Yeah.
Every genre of it would be, because it has its own field to play in.
Exactly. Yeah. You mentioned sports, like that's always been huge.
Oh yeah, like somebody wants like the classic San Francisco and Oakland World Series team.
Yep. Just found some yesterday.
Or somebody wants
89.
the Dodgers Kirk Gibson shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or somebody wants
88.
a Will Clark, or somebody wants a, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Gonna get the Dion where he's on the Yankees where he's doing the thing. Yeah. So there's always those types of specifics.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And that's, like I said, in the sports world, they're always looking for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know there's NASCAR people who are like, hey,
right.
you got a number 3? You got an old number 3? I would love if you got an old number 3.
Right.
Like, you know, because that's just, they can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
The old M&M jacket. The old race car M&M jacket from NASCAR, you know, those types of things like sit really big. My buddy had one, that's how I know about it. Because it was leather with the suede on the thing.
Yeah,
and it was the yellow. With the,
I just found the yellow hat, like
the yellow M&M hat?
It's like a $25, $30 hat, but good to find for...
Definitely, yeah. All right, do you refurbish any of your stuff, or do you like it to be in better quality?
So all my clothing, like I kind of pride myself, like I'm gonna pick it, I'm gonna sanitize it, soak it if I need to, treat the stains. I'm gonna wash it, I'm gonna hang dry it. If it's a t-shirt, I'm even gonna go as far as iron it.
Okay.
When I'm moving a piece, like I want the individual who's taking it to know that this thing's ready to wear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not just thrifted.
Dusty, smells like mothballs.
That's not the way
I got you this one. It's all dusted off. Yeah,
exactly. But for hats, I don't restructure hats. I just really don't have the time. So any hat that I find and I know
a quick brush or something.
Sometimes I'll do a little bit of soaking, but there's a couple local dudes. Shout out to my boy Mondo, NES. Like they're really good at that.
Yeah.
They take the time. They know how to restructure and
clean the band.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's some people that do repairs. They can change out whole bills.
Oh wow.
They've repaired these for me.
Literally, like just refurbishing the hat.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
See, and that's another part too. Is that I think that we haven't even touched on yet. Is that people that are into vintage clothing, but actually refurbishing and rebuilding it back up to its original, at least body. You know, jackets, hats, you know, sweaters that may have holes or may have pieces that are missing. Of course, you're gonna keep the hole because it looks bright, but if you're able to replace the button, if you're able to, you know, restructure the hat.
Outerwear.
Yeah. Find a pair of kicks that are just like perfect, but you can reshoe them.
Yeah.
I've seen the reshoe game, the clean shoe game come up crazy.
Yep, I have seen those videos.
Reshoeminator and all these other people that just pull up, and I'm like, yo, you took a dusty pair and made them nice.
Right. Looks
a little bit of paint. That's it. Yeah, just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want that shit to crack either, because it's not factory paint.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're using acrylic. You're using acrylic, bro. You basically want to just kick it and then just like walk back to your car. Yeah. No, but that's good. Is there anything that you are wanting to kind of give everybody in the community? If you guys are going to get into vintage clothing, or if you're going to start getting into picking, or even if you want to come out to the expo and kind of get your first taste of vintage clothing, what would you like? Some advice in a small sense of like, if this is something you want to pick up as a hobby and then turn it into something longevity. Because if your passion's there, your passion's there.
Yeah. On the business side of things.
Yeah.
On the business side of things, my anybody that's getting started into thrifting, into picking, you know, everybody's gonna kind of start off with their own knowledge base. So it's however long you've been on this planet, however cultured you are, however whatever you've experienced.
What you remember.
Yeah, exactly. So whether you skated, or a little b-boy, you know,
your parents is in the country.
Exactly. Digging music. What kind of music were you raised off of? So all of that kind of encompasses your knowledge base of graphic shirts, you know, tour tees, old anime, stuff like that. So my recommendation would be just like pick what you know and what you enjoy. You know what I mean? Never be on the search for certain clothing or a piece that's like,
don't be a hype beast.
Exactly. Yeah, don't be like, well, I know that's worth a lot of money, even though I don't like it and I won't wear it. There's stuff I come across, like, you know, bootleg Supreme stuff, and I'm not huge into like the newer streetwear. I know there's older stuff like that, but it's like I'd rather take a quirky ass 80s, 90s shirt over something that I just wouldn't wear.
Yeah,
or I wouldn't
you're killing me
put on my
smalls. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Yeah,
exactly, stuff like that. So I would say anybody that's getting into it, just pick what they like. When they're putting items on their rack, you know, my racks are here. Whenever they're putting on their rack, that's a representation of themselves, their interest, how cultured they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's
what
whatever,
they've experienced.
Exactly. What they think is good fashion and graphics, music that they enjoy, you know, comics that they enjoy.
Even being able to pick out like a good like vintage suede something, you know, like a 70s something. It may not be their knowledge of that time frame, but being able to identify like, I like this. This looks nice. Like this crushed velvet. Is that what that's called? Like or even just the ugly sweater kind of vibe. Like you said, the grandma sweater with you got weird t-shirts with stains. I got the same thing. People always say, hey, do you like your shirt?
Right.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. Because it is something offbeat. I'll look and be like, oh, I like this. And she'll be like, really? I'm like, yeah, that's my vibe. That's my vibe. That's me. It's just, what was the one that I had? It was a snap cat. It was a cat taking a selfie. It's just a face of a big cat, like catch just like that. I was like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna rock that.
Heck yeah.
Every time everybody else would see it, they'd be like, oh, I wouldn't buy that, but that shit looks tight. I like it. So.
Was it maybe last month, maybe the month before, I hit an estate sale, kind of raided the closet. Took a lot of 90s Looney Tunes. There was a Louis Vuitton hat, leather hat, that sold immediately. Shipped that to Canada. Good money. But out of all of those pieces, my favorite one out of there was the one, it's a late 90s tag, Jersey's tag. It has the cat and it's like that and it says stressed out.
Yeah.
Like, awesome graphic. Awesome graphic. Like, that's the one I love.
Yeah. But then that's also, again, like you said, your experiences in life, and when you first saw it, it probably made you laugh.
Right.
And then later on to catch you, like, oh, that's the one. Yeah. I'm gonna rock that.
Yeah,
because it really, I think that is a good piece of information or advice to tell people is that, like, yo, if you only were around a certain thing, don't try to jump in and be a hype beast and go, I'm gonna find SB Dunks and I'm gonna try to find vintage Jordan wear. But you were only exposed to classic rock tees or classic rap tees. Like, you know, just go with that. That'll work. And if you were gonna get into digging, you know, it's gonna cost some money. You know, it's any hobby you have that is like media or clothes or anything of that nature, it's gonna cost a lot of money. Because you're gonna spend a lot of money because you want so much of it. I mean, it's gonna be like, you know, but you find stuff like you said, $1, $2, $3, but over a month, 80 pieces, you know, gathered. So if you guys are starting out, be aware, you know, have a budget. Don't try to overexceed yourself. Don't try to keep up with anybody.
Right.
I think that would be the biggest part too, is that, you know, acknowledge the fact that you're just starting out. So it's okay to just have five or six pieces. In some of the previous episodes where we're talking about business companies or people starting out small companies, like if you only have 5, at least make them the best package looking 5. And at least you know you're gonna sell them each time and your profit will grow to get the 15, the 30, the 50.
Right.
So if you only can start with a couple of pieces, you got a couple pieces already, you know, hit a couple of flea markets or thrift shops, or maybe you hit the cherry auction, you know, something to start yourself off. Keep your budget going, but you know, make sure also look into these areas that he had talked about, all the websites that they sell clothes at.
Right.
If you can leave me a list, I'll put it in the bottom of the description of the video so people can check it out where to. And then check your markets. You know, some pieces may only be $5 over here, but then you take them over here across the street and somebody will pay a prettier penny for it just because it's more valuable in that market. So, you know, always pay attention to where you're at, but also, you know, never take for granted the fact that you have valuable pieces. Like you said, it is just cotton, but for some people it's a memory. Some people it's an experience in life that they want to gather again, or again, if you're a collector, it might be one of those pieces that you just always wanted to get your hands on.
For sure.
And as a collector, you don't want to keep everything. But just the fact that you had it and you can find it again and you feel like, oh, I can get that. You know, I've been fishing there before. I can catch that fish. So and I think that's big. On the Expo side, how many vendors are you guys going to have this year? And is there anybody specific you want to highlight for the Expo right now to give everybody like an idea, and the location again, so everybody kind of gives an idea?
Okay, so third annual.
Third annual, that's
Third annual, CenCal Thrift and Vintage Expo. Shout out to everybody who's taken part over the past, you know, up to 3 years now. We've had over, I think last year we were just about over 4,000 through the door.
Wow.
That's not counting vendors. So it's been amazing since year one. Great vendors, a good collection of vendors. And what I mean by that is you get that spectrum. So somebody comes to mind is Marty Bibio's, Marty and Lupe Bibio's vintage here, Tower District. Like, you're getting a good mixture of 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, Y2K across the board. In the entire floor, you're gonna have a good mixture.
Yeah.
Because you have, the good thing about, maybe it's just the Fresno scene, it's probably like this elsewhere, but everybody, we're all peers, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's equal.
They all know each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's, for the most part, friendly, friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's better than anybody. We're all doing the same thing with the passion that we have for it. So that's the way I look at the expo when we're bringing vendors on.
Okay.
So there's, see, in regards to like highlighting anybody, I think we kind of briefly talked about it before.
At the beginning?
Yeah. So,
those are like the main
yeah, so we have some that
collectors that you would want to be like, if you're gonna step to their booths or step to their areas first.
Yeah, I mean, but you're gonna get great value at
all of them.
Exactly. Like,
I don't think you'd invite whack people.
Yeah, and it's not
non-business. I mean, like non-business formative, like people who are not going to be very welcome to the community. People who have a different agenda. You know, people who are just kind of negative or just there for the cause, the hype beast. You know, just because I paid my vendor fee, I can get on. It's like, no, this is a community.
Yeah, exactly. Like the vibe has always been amazing. Yeah, amazing, and it's because of all the people who take part. Yeah, right. It's really not much to do with the team that's behind the plan. It's everybody coming together. Like that's very true. The 3 C's that I preach on for the CenCal Expo. It's community, culture, and clothing. That's what it's surrounded of. We have sneaker vendors as well. We've had sneaker vendors since 2021. We are the first expo to mix all that culture. Sneaker, hyper. We've had
entire fit, bro.
We've had vinyl dealers. You mentioned Paul. Paul Cruikshank was at the first one, 2021. So it's always been like everything nostalgia. Our friends Junk in the Trunk, like a lot of good collectibles, stuff like that. Definitely. Like you're gonna get a wide spectrum of bunch of vintage clothing, collectibles, vinyl. You're gonna get sneakers. Like it's head to toe.
Basically, what you guys can all see here. You know what I mean? From video games to the classic VHSs to throwback classic stuff.
It's a good representation of what's there. But we get a lot of. We have some high-end premium dealers. I mean, you're gonna see clothing there that's valued at over $1,000. Yeah. One T-shirt, like I'm bringing a handful of those. And then you're also gonna see the dollar piles, the $5 filler bags, stuff like that.
But they're still all good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just because
it's whatever the people want to wear. You know what I mean? Like I just talking about that awkward crew neck that I was wearing. That's $1. I picked that up for $1 at the swap meet.
And somebody could be looking for that and it's in there, you know what I mean? Like want something of that nature and they're like, oh, this is the one right here, $1.
Exactly.
And if it was on the rack for $50, they probably would have bought it for $50.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? That's the vibe. Because if you want it, you want it.
Right.
The opportunity of finding something a good piece, that's what all thrifters and collectors like, is that, oh, I got it for this much. Like you're the winner.
Right.
Like no matter what you give it to them for, you won because you found it at the lowest.
Right, yeah.
And there's always a part in the podcast where I like to give my people's their flowers, or what I like to call watering my people. Let you know how much you've been giving to the world and to the community. And it's great that you've been doing it for 30 years, 20 years solidly in the community, and now giving back to the expo. And I don't think anybody really gives you your credit on your fashion ability and eye for fashion. I think a lot of the collectors miss that part of the props, is that you guys are great at finding great pieces, but you're also very good at finding out what's fashionable and what fashion was at that time and how to make it now a valuable piece to wear back into the time. Bring it back into the stream of life and reweave it into a new way. You've also been able to create and help people get a wave and build things that, get people more excited about stuff. Like you were saying, the art hops, Van Ness popped open, the brewing districts, all of these, alleyway parties and everything. The vintage vibe started to grow back up. And thank you for being one of those people that was, in there collecting your peoples, getting that Voltron on, making your money in the ways that you could, but also now getting that valuable information to others to be able to, navigate the same way. So I'd like to thank you for doing that in the first place. Like I said, giving you your flowers, watering my peoples, because you're in the timeline of the history of Fresno when it does. And when people talk about music or business or fashion, your line starts here and it continues on as you continue to progress and put to the community.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for doing that, because that's what a large part of the podcast is to make sure that everybody knows what's going on here, get information on how to run the business, but also acknowledge and appreciate the people that are doing it, because the legwork is really what it takes.
Yeah.
And sitting down and having business meetings like we're doing right now in a small sense, but just having time frame in Fresno is a lot of real-time FaceTime. You know, you get together, you talk about 10, 20 minutes and you're ready to go. Something can happen.
Right.
And so the ideas and the dreams grow. And everybody gets that potential to be better within a matter of a conversation in Fresno. I think that's what everybody misses too. Like we're talking about, like, yo, people got to get put on the stuff, but it really is people that are driven to do something. Everyone's ready to go. It's just, what's the plan?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who we hitting? I'm not saying who we're going to take care of, but we got to take care of it. I'm going to ask you guys to say no questions, but I need you all to just help me do something real quick. And the people in Fresno will be like, all right, cool, let's go.
Right.
You got a plan? What's the date? What's the time?
That's exactly the way it happens.
Yeah, it really is. And so I want to thank you for doing that and give you your flowers for being, you know, a part of a great community. You know, being inside Thrift Demon, it's kind of like talking in the church of, you know, but it's great that you guys would all be a part of. I got the opportunity to interview them. I got the opportunity to be more involved with the community because I got to talk to each one of you guys slowly and to meet the person that's in charge of bringing the entire expo together, or the person that wanted to, you know, curate the entire scene and also give everybody their paths to grow and curate the different, like you said, demographics of this to sports to whatever, and still floating around and just kind of being the God that just kind of blesses everything once in a while, you know what I mean? Showing up and doing the thing. So that's great that you did that.
No, I appreciate that.
On the expo side, is there anything that, you know, featured? You said any vendors this year, or food, music, any musical guests, anything of that nature?
Absolutely, great question. So like we do every year, and it's only gotten better. Always have live music performances. So this year, we haven't announced. We announced our headliner. That's Rheo, female MC from Southern California. Amazing, great.
Shout out to Rheo.
Yeah, great lyricist. Awesome production. She just coming off a Euro tour, and then she done a couple shows down south with Mers and Grouch. So she's making a stop at our show.
Shout out to Living Legends.
Yeah, hell yeah. So that's our headliner. We're gonna announce the other three. Maybe I'll just touch on it right now.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. There it is. You'll see the flyer probably this week.
Well, this will drop the week before. So,
great. So the flyer will be out. The flyer will be out.
But we're trying to make it feel special. So thank you.
There you go. Yeah. So here it is. This is the first time. So the rest of the lineup. So we got Rheo headlining. TA the Handful.
Shout out to my brother TA.
And then BKR,
the brother man in the building.
And then our homies Ronnie and company. They're called Near Avenue.
Near Avenue, okay.
We're kind of a funk band.
I have to check them out.
Younger heads. They're dope.
I love some funk.
They're dope. They're dope.
I live with the funk.
So that's the four live music performances right there. We had a great lineup last year. At the fairground, smaller stage. Now this building that we're in now, like beautiful stage. Yeah,
I know exactly where you guys are at.
Valdez Hall.
The Valdez Hall.
So
great spacing.
Right, exactly. So live music.
Don't have to worry about parking.
Right.
Tell me all the other venues weren't just like, man, are you gonna do the security for the? No, this whole spot is one parking spot. You got park right there. That's it.
So the live music is always on lock. That's one thing that sets us apart from really any other collection of vendors. The DJs, we have 8 DJs. Good gosh, I mean, we're bringing Mike, Mackle
from Live Music City,
LMC, his boy Phenom. Kenny, KG559. Of course, Don D. He's kind of heading up all the audio visual. Hector Bueno. Robert, Ghost Bomb.
Shout out to Ghost Bomb.
My boy Ryan, Sober Sport, he's gonna come down from San Diego, do his thing. And then I think there's one, Pleasure Pack. Pleasure Pack.
Nice.
Young kid group, kind of collective little group of youngsters, play some amazing stuff. Great taste in music. So lineup of 8 DJs, that's all day. So that's that. So we got live music, got DJs, and then another go-to. Of course, we have food trucks.
Indoor or outdoor? They're gonna be indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor. Yeah.
So all the food will be outside before you get in?
Exactly. Yep. So I think we have 5 total right now. Good mixture of food. ones that come out to see. WTF, where's the food? Fresno, great food. Yep. Twisted Masala, they've been there since the first year.
Yeah.
Dab Tacos.
Oh, shout out to Dab Tacos.
Right,
That's my guys. That's my guys.
Yeah, and then I think we have some one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Robert Tito's. Shout out to Robert Tito.
Yeah. But so food, so music, DJs, food, and then I won't give the details right now, but the announcement's gonna come out soon. We're in our final month before like execution.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some workshops.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, some workshops. So in the building upstairs, we have a separate kind of meeting room.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be kind of a Q&A. We have 3 scheduled right now.
Okay.
I don't wanna let the cat out the bag, but some very, very like solid people in the scene. We'll just say fashion, music, culture,
advertising, marketing, maybe.
Just
business, just business.
Business, yeah. Very well known folks. One's coming from Texas.
Okay.
The other is local, and then one of my other buddies it's either going to be LA or on the East Coast.
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to be great. I mean, not a whole lot of other. You know, you got, I don't want to say the other names, but we'll say the other expos aren't really offering something like that, workshops.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, is it's always about standing out, you know what I mean? Like being able to do the same thing, but differently. Yep. And if you have the availability to reach out to all these people and they say yes to you, it's no knock on anybody else doing their thing. It's just that I have the availability to do that.
Yeah, you know, and it's really it's the team.
Yeah, it really is. And that's what I'm saying. You're able to touch so many avenues that if you ask, they'll all say yes. Yep. Whereas if other events or other venues or other, you know, expos or whatever are where they're at, that might be where exactly they want to be, you know what I mean, with the connection of their market and their network. So it's always just better on everybody just placing what their stamp is going to be. And if yours happens to just be bigger and more full of, that encourages others to kind of step up to, or maybe network more, or start to pull out the pieces they may already have. Right. You know what I mean? And start building it up. So that's what I'm saying. It was good to give you your flowers, because you start putting precedents down, and it's like you lead by example in a way, but you're also just doing what you feel is like the best type of good vibe for your community. Exactly. You're not competing with somebody saying, oh, they're not doing? All right, well, all those boxes are going to be checked, because
No, we've been doing this since year 1. Yeah. Like, if anything.
Because you wanted it to be a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I've always looked at the expo like, it's for the community. It's like nothing to do with money, because we actually, our door, a huge portion of our door proceeds since 2021, every year we're donating that money to Best Buddies. Oh, okay. Like, it's a program that I've seen, and I'm like, that's an amazing program. Like, why not channel some of that funds to a good cause? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you said you had 7,000 in the door, you know what I mean? Yeah, like that, about 4,000, but that's still quite a bit.
Whatever.
Quite a bit.
Round up, round down.
Yeah. So every year we donate a huge portion of door proceeds to Best Buddies.
And giving back to the community again, like, you know, making sure that what you're having fun with, but you're also giving back to something.
Yeah, and I do want to say this too. Our vendor space fees are a fraction compared to any other
in bigger venues.
Exactly. Any other expo of our size,
or concert or anything like that.
Exactly.
That happens,
it's a fraction of the cost, and I keep it that frugal for the people, because they gotta eat, right?
Yeah. And you're also coming in to spend money.
Yeah.
So if it costs you a little bit more to get in, you know what I mean? You got to pulling out rack, you know what I mean?
Right.
Apple Pay all day. Yep. But also, here's a good point. It's a guy telling you go shopping. That's the dope part. Like, it's guys going, hey, dude, go shopping. Go buy. 2 guys? You guys. Oh, her. Well, oh. I'm at 20? Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. But yeah, it's like saying, hey, dude, I like to shop. I like to go out and go buy the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see something new popping out, and and if you're in this collection, everybody in the scene has that same energy. Right. But for the most part, guys on a regular don't like to shop like that. Yeah. I don't mind. It's fun. I want to see some shit too. I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is trash. No, it's cool. Yeah. Right. But the fashion idea, and I think that you guys, kind of, I don't know if you ever look at it like that. Like, man, I got a pretty good fashion eye. But you really do, you know what I mean? You've seen so much, you're cultured. That's the main part of it. Right. Then being able to see New York fashion versus LA fashion, Chicago fashion during the years. Yep. And then being able, like you said, you can read a tag now, you can read a thread. You look at it and go, nope. Oh, this is whoa, shit, Janko, wow. Yeah. So that in itself is like good to have that energy to be able to give back to people too, and let them know it's really a fashion thing. Really, you're checking labels. You're checking who is this real, is this not? Is okay. If it's bootleg, it's all good. I know it is, but they can tell. You know, you got that eye. You didn't take this for just like, oh, we're gonna find some pieces and flip them to people. Right. You took it as a fashion sense. Is the quality, is this the original 70s vibe, or is this the 80 remake? I remember when they did the 85, but wasn't the 77, that type thing. Or get a piece and go, ooh, this is a 74 Prada, or this is a, that's good that you actually have that fashion sense. Right, you know?
I think that's probably my one go-to hashtag whenever I post my finds, and often I put them on my wall, but it's usually a lot of my stories, and I archive all my finds. But when I put it on, if it's a really good, I found troop jackets and troop tracksuits in the wild. Yeah. Like crazy. and I've moved them.
Did you feel like a D-boy when you found them now? A little bit, you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab some St. Ides real quick and just, I don't know why, but
I remember that stuff, but that's my childhood right
there.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to kind of know that. But it always, like you said, it's always about fashion. The hashtag that I always go back to is thrifted fashion. Yeah. Like that's what it's about. Or secondhand fashion. Thrifted fashion, secondhand fashion. That's a beautiful thing to me, you know?
Yeah, and I recognize that. You know, you guys have that eye. You know, to curate what people what a whole fit would look like. With pieces that already exist, that's kind of like a stylist, but then you're collecting so many pieces that you're like, there's all these fits are possible. This interchanges with this and that and that because you've seen it, but also your eye for fashion is like, nah, that ain't swag right there, bro. Like, put this on. Here, let me get this eye. There you go.
Right, yeah.
You know, so
my brother's always doing that when he sells, man. Like, I hear him. I'm always popped up next to him, and like somebody come, they're looking at something. He's like, and he'll grab like a little fit for them, and be like, this is what you need.
Yeah, this is you right here. This is you. Yeah, this is you.
That's funny. Man.
You're in the wrong color section. Like, let me get you this tan with this but that's really because it is. You guys are, you know, curators of fashion in Fresno, and you're bringing that to the eye, and the youngsters are getting their eye, and they have a fashion sense. I think that's the biggest part about not just the community of it, but I think people overlook Fresno's artistry and Fresno's fashion sense, Fresno's media sense, like Fresno's savvy of basically everything that goes on. When me and BKR talked, we're talking about how Fresno was super influenced by New York and San Francisco in the 90s because there was so much going on with all of the hip hop, but then also the rock and everything that was being brought to the table. There was a lot of rock shows that were here. There was a lot of people that were coming through Fresno to the convention center. People were still playing Ratcliffe for a while, you know what I mean? Like there was areas where concerts were still going on, and this was like through someone touring. Stop in Fresno real quick. It's
between LA and Frisco.
Everyone's gonna pull up. If you pull up in Fresno, everyone will pull up. So it's good that you have that sense and you know, let everybody know that the fashion thing is really a thing in this in this city. City of Fresno really does have fashion heads, you know, people that are, you know, and I think that once artists and things are getting bigger, you know, when you start, I feel like the next level for you, this is just me speaking, will be like when, you know, events and stuff are happening, you'll be able to be one of those stylists and one of those people that, like, you know, would be able to dress somebody on a rack. They would call you, hey, we're doing a video shoot, could you bring out something, you know, or a Thrift Demon, people of that nature, where it's like, we're looking for a certain thing, even if it's LA or San Francisco or somebody coming in, hey, we're gonna fly out to Fresno, we're gonna do a shoot, do you guys got anything for us? We'll bring out a couple pieces.
Yeah,
you know?
We've actually had people, exactly that. People coming from LA to shoot videos here.
And ask you for
something? That have came in through the shop,
Just to pick up pieces?
Yep, exactly.
So I feel like that's our next level, you know what I mean? Where we start getting that recognition of how much we have a fashion input.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
I appreciate it. That's dope. Well, I mean, on top of that, anything else about the expo you want to let people know? What's the price of the tickets? Where can they find the tickets?
Yeah, so they can find the tickets on our website, CenCalExpo.com. Pretty easy. They can buy their digital tickets there. They'll get a QR code. Don't have to wait in a longer line, because every year we've had a huge line. Just people that don't get their tickets ahead of time. So they can get them ahead of time, CenCalExpo.com. They're $10 now. There's going to be a slight price increase at the door.
75. No, just like
no, I think it goes up to 15 or 20 bucks. But again, door proceeds are going towards a great cause.
Exactly.
Never focused on the money.
Yeah. But also to the fans too, don't feel like the ticket pricing is a certain price because of it. It's going somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it,
they're donating somewhat.
Of course they're donating, but a Reverie show, our headliner, you're getting Reverie. You're getting TA the Handful, you're getting BKR, you're getting Near Avenue, you're getting about 100 vendors vintage clothing, streetwear, sneakers.
Yeah.
You're getting food trucks. You're getting a beautiful air-conditioned building.
Yeah.
Like that's $10.
And that's
A ticket to go see a show, like to see Reverie, is probably 20 plus.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Any one of the shows. So it's
a no-brainer.
Again, and that's a great value for everybody in the streets. Like we're telling everybody, come out, check it out. Like you said,
September 30th.
September 30th at the Valdez Hall. All the vendors downtown. If you're right by the convention center, you'll be right across that walkway. Like, wow.
Yeah.
But if you're in the so across the way, the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have a room block right across the street because, like I said, last year, the year before, we have folks coming in from out of state. So we got a room block with DoubleTree by Hilton right across the street. So discounted room rates within our bio on the CenCal Expo page on IG. There's a link directly to book your room.
So these are for out-of-towners that are coming into
for anybody. For anybody.
Wow.
We'll have vendors from up and down California.
That's amazing, bro. Hey, that's dope to give your people that are coming in from out of town. Here's a discount to stay in our city. You know, it's right connected right there.
And it is literally right across the street from the Valdez Hall.
And did it take much? I know it is. It's like that little walkway.
Exactly.
Yeah, that little light. Yeah, I know exactly where it's at. You walk right into the thing and you go around the corner, get on the elevator.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it take much to get with them, to like get them to work with you, or was it just you just got online and just ordered a bunch?
No, I met face to face.
He was just like, I'm just gonna book a floor.
Yeah, no. I actually, it always starts with the emails, and
of course.
And then we met face to face, and they're like, okay, what is it, this and that, and I'm like, kind of give them the lowdown of who we are, what we've been doing, what we're bringing to Fresno and downtown, and they're like, heck yeah, sounds
We're
great.
A gun show. And they're just like, whoa, whoa. You got a bunch of people staying in your hotel with a bunch of guns.
We're actually fully booked, sorry.
Yeah, for the next 6 months. So whenever your event is, that's when we're booked the most. Yeah. No, but that's good that you connect with those things. And that, again, like being in the community, talking to the city, making sure that, everything that you're doing, your hands are in all the cookie jars. Yeah. But I'm sure everybody you work with, their hands are in multiple cookie jars as well, which helps everybody get involved and enjoy the participation of what you're doing. Yeah. Making it big for the community. Doing it for a cause, and also for the vintage clothing people, everybody that's sitting there picking it at the same time, and just going through the same time frame of, spending their money and going out of town, and I found it online and doing all that shit to give everybody that platform and be like, hey guys, who wants to sell some shit? And they're like, but also bring everybody in that collects, and you get to see the swag, and you get to see the fashion, and then the music crowd goes into, and you see how this all fluctuates and all merges into one little symbiotic embryo of fluid that just makes the baby that is.
It's like I've always said it. It's like it's all community. Like that's the representation of the community from the vintage clothing, the sneakers, streetwear, the folks that are there for music. Families come out bringing their kids because there's food and they want to browse through the racks and see the stuff like that. Like it's just an experience.
But you're also bringing nostalgia for some of those parents that aren't really into it.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
Find a piece.
You see that a lot. Yeah. They're like, hey, I remember that.
And they try to, they telling his wife, like, or she's telling him,
you see that a lot.
Thing? Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah, it looks like they're not even into vintage, but they see that, whatever it is,
Ninja Turtle shirt. Yeah, the Bart Simpson. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, 1991.
I had that green Ninja Turtle shirt. I used to get picked on because I used to have it, but I want it again. Yeah. But no, it really is. It's that thing where it's like you're providing those memories again because you have experienced it all. All you guys see stuff. You're like, if you find anything, let me know. Let me know. I'm going to throw it out there because we all have seen the TV shows. We all seen the movies. We all seen that stuff. So again, the experience of life. And then putting it in front of somebody, there might be somebody who is just walking by. So if you guys get a chance, like you said, $10 online, buy your tickets at the
CenCalExpo.com. CenCalExpo.com. IG page is at CenCal Expo.
Okay. Follow them. Get everything that they got going on. And there's pop-ups that you guys do too, right? That you guys work with certain like...
Yeah, we'll be... so when I usually pop up, when it's Expo season, I usually have the banner. We're promoting, we're moving tickets and stuff like that. I have my own, my business is Golden Era Thrift and Vintage. Yeah. Golden Era Vintage on IG.
Follow that, we'll put that in the link.
So I pop up every now and then. I'll usually do a couple art hops of the year, but I'm always in shop here. I'm always supporting Ched and the crew. Yeah. NES Ralix, there's a handful of local events that we'll show up to, and
that's cool.
Always support. It's all community, like I said. So
Well, you guys follow him on everything. You know, he'll let you know wherever he's going to be at. All of the other people that are going to be at the vendors, like they'll be listed, right?
Yeah, so we'll have a final flyer. We call it the Coachella style flyer.
There you go.
The whole lineup of vendors.
Yeah, and all the @, so everybody can follow them if they need to. So you guys stay on tap for that. This episode will be out right before the Expo. The Expo is September 30th, so this will be within that week, the week before. You guys, if you see it beforehand, get your tickets. If you see it this week when it drops, get your tickets. Flyers are everywhere. Stop by Thrift Demon. You don't have a brick and mortar anymore, but hit him up and, you know, check him out wherever he's popping
Yeah, I got racks in here.
He's got racks in here. Racks on racks on racks. So hit him up. I want to thank you again for stopping by.
Same here.
I want to thank Thrift Demon for letting us be in the building.
Oh yeah.
With my stinking ass. Brought my whole fucking crew with me. Brought my wife with me. Brought my brother with me.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Birdstash. Shout out to Junk in the Trunk for being in the building. Shout out to my man right here doing
Art.
Art.
Boy, Art.
Art. Is there a company Art does, or is it just Art by himself?
Rheo Media.
Rheo Media.
Yeah.
So shout out to Rheo Media. A link to that will be in the description of the video as well. All the descriptions of everybody in the building will be there. You guys have a great time. Thank you so much. Check out the Expo. Anything else you want to tell everybody before we get out of here?
No, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank the whole crew. Thank you for putting this together. Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody on the 30th.
Definitely.
It's all community, all love, man. I hope to see you there.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to buy my ticket right now.
Yeah, no, we got you covered,
If
bro.
you got tickets on you, we're about to cop them. You guys have a great time. We'll see you guys next week. This is the world famous Do Word podcast. I'm your host, Scientifixxx, here with the CenCal Thrift and Vintage Expo man himself, James. Say your last name again.
Pallares.
Pallares. I didn't say it enough times, so I can say it right. And we are to episode 26. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next week. Go to the Expo, you bitch. Bam, bam, bam.
Heck yeah.